Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe!
Heya and welcome to Weekly Tips, where we'll find some sense in your tip jar. Welcome in today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, and we're going to be drawing a duck. So let's quack on into this and draw a duck. So once I've gathered a reference for this duck, I start with a simple side view just to understand the forms and what goes into the duck. Now, duck is a simpler shape. There's not too much going on there. It's just like a kind of a biggish body with a longish neck attached to it and a couple of legs flailing there at the bottom. So there's not a lot going on for it, there's not like complex shapes like horns and um, it only has 2 feet. You don't have to deal with a lot of limbs and things like that. Um, you do have wings to deal with, but for these drawings, I don't think I've dealt with the wings. And I should in the future have more wing tutorials. I think I've done a wing tutorial here on my channel once before where I drew some wings, but I think it was parrot wings, I think. Don't quote me on that, but yes, so I dealt with them at a different state. You want to deal with the basic shape first before you go into that. Go with a duck. You can get away with its wings being, quite attached to its body. You don't know they have wings until they start flying. You know, it's one of the common things that, when you learn about ducks a little bit that, you don't know they fly until they actually do fly. But yeah, anyway, here you can see me, I use a bit of proportional fixing, so I use a bit of measurements and things, just guesstimating on, how wide that, that body is there with that line there, and, how you could use it a little bit more if you want, how long its neck is, and those things you can use to help guide and try to get this you know, drawing as accurate as possible, to understand the shapes and forms that go into it, build it into shapes if you like as well, making the beak into a certain shape, and then adding the detail on top if you need to necessarily. For me, I just kind of use that line there that you can see on an angle to help me, to guide me on the thickness to fix things up. And it really helped in the end using that and going back. I was getting a little frustrated with it, doing it a few times, not getting it accurate enough. And I felt I did, in the end, an alright job with it. I actually, took, I don't know, I think it was this one, but I actually put the image under it, and I was pretty much spot on. There was only like, maybe its head was a little bit smaller, in proportion, just a little bit, so it wasn't too bad. Um, but yeah, we're not kind of going for perfection word for word. You want to understand the forms and the shapes that go into the duck. Here again, you see me, I'm making these kind of shapes that, you can see these curvy shapes going in. And if, you would see if you draw more construction work behind your drawings and things. For me, you might not see as much, construction lines, because it's all kind of, it's there, but I'm not drawing all of the construction lines, because I understand it a little bit more. But if you need it, it's there. Use your construction lines. Use the shapes that you are drawing around. If you need to make a big cylinder shape for its neck, and then like a big circle for its head, and then long elongated triangle for its beak. You make those simple shapes first, and then you can go off and do all this detail. I kind of do it here. You can see, I've kind of jotted down the shapes for the legs and shapes for the other parts of the body, and then now I'm kind of added the detailing on top. However, it's a little bit more closer. Um, it's not so shaping that I need to change it a lot. But yeah, you can see that what I've done here. And that does really help to break it up in shapes. It break it up to even more shapes if you need to, if that really helps you. And it can help you understand when you um, draw this in tough poses. That was I did a side view, a three-quarter view, um, and now, oh no, there was a front-on view, and now I'm doing a kind of a more of a three-quarter side view, kind of a thing going on. We kind of see a bit more of his legs, and what's going on there, and that I kind of take something from each pose. The first pose, I'm kind of understanding the shapes of the duck, and the proportions. With this drawing here, I'm understanding his feet, um, how they are positioned, the flippers, and how they fit into the body and those things. I think that with the first drawing, that's what it was. It was the feet weren't small enough, proportionally to the rest of the body. So, you know, you take something from each drawing you do of, you know, a certain subject. The side view, front view, you're taking something from it each time. And that's what I find is important. That's why I draw things in different angles just to understand what I'm drawing each time. If I do a character, if I do a creature, if I do an animal, I'm drawing side views, I'm drawing front views, and as many more views I do, the easier it gets to really draw that character or creature in different poses. Similar to what I do here, you see me drawing in different poses. Now I'm doing something a little bit more dynamic. He's got his mouth open. I don't know if maybe this is him asking for bread from you. You go feed the ducks. This is the kind of pose you might see where they're kind of following you and they're asking for some bread. So that's kind of the pose here I've drawn. Um, you once you've understand the body a little bit, the shapes and the forms that go into it, then it becomes a little easier. However, this photo here had the feet cut off, so it did not draw the feet. So that's kind of a cheat in a way, but I could have maybe used a little bit of my knowledge to try and guess maybe if his feet wasn't stuck under the grass. I could have tried to draw the feet, but I didn't want to challenge myself too much. At this position, I was kind of finished drawing the ducks at this position. So, I just left it. I just copied the drawing pretty much. But yeah, if you do, a little bit more advanced, but if you do kind of understand, what the feet's made out of, then you could do those kind of things where um, you try, and if you have a photo like the one I had before where you can't see his feet, you maybe can try and fix up his feet and like imagine if they were there, what would they look like, kind of a thing. You can start to do that a little bit. Like with the ducks, maybe he looks. You've got some drawings, but you want the drawing that you want. Maybe you want it different. You want the duck looking at something. You can start doing those things a little bit more. So if you're doing a cat, a cat, a duck character or creature, or maybe for a book or a story that you're telling with a duck in it, you can draw them in an interesting pose and tell a story. So learning the features of a duck can be really helpful. In you know, that kind of thing. So hopefully you learned something today. Um, it's a bit longer video, but I do enjoy, you know, chatting away and letting you guys know a little bit more knowledge about drawing and creating things. And it's always fun. So hopefully, you know, let me know down in the comments your thoughts. Um, keep drawing, keep creating, and see you in the next video.